gonna be a little harder than normal because yeah, because I'm not using a second monitor right now, and I'm just kind of borrowing my brother's screen. So we'll get to that. Why is oh, it kind of sounds really mumbly, doesn't it? Let me see if I can fix that. It just sounds. All right, let's try that. And it's also kind of a bit behind too. Okay, that's better. Turn the volume off there. Okay, so welcome to this very chill stream. I can't do anything too much right now because I mean, I guess I could start something, but I need to be able to stop in the middle of it because I do have like a party thing that we're doing, so I need to be there for that. The luckiest AS player is back. How are you? How was the trip? And the music is a bit too loud. You know what? We can fix that. We can fix music. This is what I'm using. Just get credit for that. Let's turn down the music. All right. Let me know if that's too loud, but hopefully that should be good. And yeah, you could say that I'm the luckiest Andaron Saga player. I feel like I have enough experience to actually give some good tips on units. So we're going to do that before we move on to a different series. I don't know if I'll do Swinging Sword or not. I heard Cerulean Crescent is super good, so I'm thinking about doing that next time. That will probably start in about a week and a half. Because right now I'm just visiting my family. So let's start off with Baudimon. Baudimon Andaron Saga. He is only with you for a limited time. Oh yeah. By the way, major spoiler. Let me say how I'm ranking it. Okay, it's better now. Good. Let me say how I'm ranking it now. So I'm ranking it based off of like how useful they are and what it costs to actually use the unit. So if the unit costs like a ton of experience, you have to go out of your way, and they're causing problems, they're probably going to be lower on the tier list. If they're like killing everything or they're support, a really good support, they'll probably be higher on that tier list. Like I said, just a nice calm one. Take a break between Iron Man's. I think Cerulean Crescent will be next, and maybe I'll do one for that one as well. Yeah, so there's going to be a character here that you guys might disagree with, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. So up here I have a limited time because limited time characters are kind of hard to rank because they're only available for like a couple chapters. Also, major spoilers for Andaron Saga. So Baudimon Andaron Saga, he is super good. You want to use this man. This man will literally carry you through the entire first half of the game. Well, quarter of the game. Of course, I'm just going to put him in limited time because he's not there for all of the game or a good portion. He's only there for a couple of chapters. But you want to use him every chance that you get. Samuel is also one of those. Let's go find Samuel. Sammy, where are you at? Here we go. It's Samuel. So for Samuel, he's one of those characters. I'm going to place him here in a second. He's one of those characters that is only limited time as well. He's a Jagged, so obviously Jageds are bad. No, kidding. It's so weird because like you want to give him experience so he doesn't auto level. He has a chapter where if you don't auto level to like 10, he gets to be a higher level. So we're going to put Samuel here. He's definitely worse than Bounty, but the reason that you would even use Samuel is because he has really good supports. So you want to support him up with somebody, maybe like Theodore, because it just is really beneficial and pays off. Got some Gatorade. It's pretty good. I guess we could talk about Aubrey. Well, why am I not placing them in like an actual tier? Again, is because if I was to actually like tier these guys, Bounty would probably be like an A rank. Samuel would probably be like B or A. But again, they're just gonna be limited time. And I think and I will try to put them in order too. Some people just put it in a tier list. I'm gonna put it in order. Then next one. Galahad. Galahad's only available for one chapter. He's good, but the way to get him is like stupid hard. Like, there's only one character that could get this guy, and you have to beat a duel for it. I did it. I didn't use him. He's not necessary. But, you know, he's like more of an obstacle. You don't really need to use Galahad. Nor should I recommend him even. Just... Oh, I guess I could explain too. I'm doing this tier list based off of an Iron Man setting. So, like, if you're doing, like, a planned run where you're resetting and everything, this won't matter as much. But just as far as Iron Mans go, since I've literally played with every character, and I have a lot of experience outside of it, I'm going to just rate it that way. So, Galahad, he's going to be worse than Samuel, because he's only available for one chapter, and he's really hard to get. Aubrey. Aubrey's available for 2 chapters. You have to pay her 50,000 gold, but she's also super good with that money. Like, she's pretty much almost always worth using if an extra spot because of lethality. But again, she's costs a ton to use. So probably not with that worth it. Who else do we have here? There's also, I think there's one other guy that's really limited time. Oh, Mortimer. Mortimer is the worst limited time unit. He's available for 3 chapters, and getting him killed gives you a game over for an Iron Man. Like, you think him being a summoner would be super helpful and have staff utility, which it is, but if for whatever reason he's out of position, or you just make one mistake with this guy, he's just an extra game over condition, so you're forced to use him on those maps. So yeah, he's the worst of all the limited time units. You hardly could support him either, because Body One's always full in supports. Alright, now we can get into the actual rest of the tier list here. And we can just do it, we'll do it in join order for the most part. I might change that for a couple of people. So we have Jacka. Jacka, he's really, really freaking good for most of the game, but he's also an infantry unit, and he doesn't have like any mobility other than that infantry class. Like, there's some boots you can get, but getting these boots is so hard. There's like maybe 1 or 2 pairs of boots you can get realistically out of all the kinds, and they only give you 1 movement. And there's like other characters that really want those boots over Jacka. Jacka could kill things, but there's also some chapters that he's not great in, and he's forced to play it every time. So I can't really give him that high of a rank. He's more of like a B rank. He's more like, this is just they're pretty good, but not amazing. Here. Thea. Thea is one of those characters I absolutely hate. So if we go back to Jacka, right? Like, he kills things, he does things well. What does Thea do? She's locked to swords. She's basically just one range most of the time. Her strength growths and stats are terrible. Like, she doesn't do anything. She causes so many problems for you. She does have one unique niche where she can get like Nihil, but you much rather give Nihil to somebody else. And just using Thea, especially in an Iron Man setting, just is not good. The one thing she has going for her is she joins in chapter 1. So like, I want to give Thea an F tier. Like, she's a completely useless unit. But because she joins in chapter 1, if you want to use her, you can. And she also gives a special item to a character we're going to talk about later. So I'm going to give her D tier. Thea gives Coulter best shots. That ups her at least 1. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I agree with you. Thea being able to help Coulter out and make him the best thief, because I will go over the thieves here, but Thea literally makes Coulter stand out among everybody else, and she's the only one that can give him Peshkots. So there is a reason to use her. Coulter. I think we'll rate A rank units as they do something special, right? So they're really special units. I wasn't expecting to see this today. Well, no one was, right? I don't really have time to do like an Iron Man or something right now, or play like a full chapter of something, and I kind of want to do one last thing with Andaron Saga before we end it and go somewhere else. Just because I like it that much. But I think it's worth talking about. And if you guys really disagree, you'll have to explain why, because I have some pretty strong opinions about things. I think we could put Coulter here. Why is Coulter an A rank unit? Well, he's a thief. There's only a couple thieves in the game. There's 3 thieves that you get for sure. Technically, you could get a 4th one, although you don't really want to make her a thief. I'll talk about that later. Coulter is the best thief that you get. He joins in Chapter 1. Heshkats, he kills things with it. He has good utility. He's like one of the perfect units you get. The only reason that I wasn't able to use Coulter mine is he died in Chapter 2. So that's why you don't see him in my Iron Man. But Coulter, super good unit. You want to make sure you use him. Lilynette. I also feel pretty good about Lilynette. I also think she's in an A tier unit as well. She is one of your only staff units for a little bit. Like, not super long, but there's no one else that does that as well as she does, because she's on a mounted horse. She can get where she needs to go. She can even hold access to a regalia, which not every character can. Also, I should just have a battle line in the limited time because of how late you get her in Honor Saga. You're right. You're right. We'll hit Madeline after this. So, yeah, Lilynette, very, very good unit. She pays off massively in the end. She's super with training. Like, I had Lilynette through the entire game, and she had, like, no supports. She's very easy to use. And I feel like with her rescue utility, staff that she comes with, and her ability to use regalias later, if you do certain support, she's definitely one of your better units that'll help carry you. Let's talk about Madeline. Madeline's bad. I'm sorry, Madeline is just so bad. You have to have one character to get her. She's probably even worse than Mortimer, just because you have to have one character to get her, and then you have to do, it's like a stupid recruitment to get this girl, and it doesn't even do anything at the end. Like, everybody else you have will be better than Madeline. I think even having a game over condition in Mortimer isn't as bad as trying to get Madeline. So we're just going to put her there. Why is she so bad? Her stats aren't great. She does come with a barrier sword. Barrier sword is amazing. But again, you have to have a certain character to get her. And you're not guaranteed to have this character. You're not even guaranteed to, like, make sure he lives or doesn't kill her. You have to be so careful about it. And she's just not worth it. I'm sorry, Madeline fans, but she's the worst limited time character. And it's not even close. Angelus. I mean, he's a dancer. You know what? We're just going to add an extra row above here. And we're just going to call this dancer tier. Dancers aren't really... You can't really rank them. Because they do the same thing constantly in every game. They don't really... They're valuable, but they also die. And I beat my armies with having both the dancers killed. Were they helpful in the chapters they were in? Yes. Is Angelus one of the best units? Sure, but I mean, he's a dancer, so we're just gonna put him there. And yeah, Sham is a better barrier sword user anyway. So like, getting Madeline is strictly for a barrier sword, and then you rip that off and throw her away. So yeah, Madeline, just terrible. Sorry. Sham. Okay. Sham is one of my favorite units of all time to use. He's so good. Glacie's crits are fine. He kills everything. Oh, Madeline is the best unit in RS as a compromise. That's true, she is. In addition to getting Madeline, not Shay Tech or even what? Yeah, I know. Like, you can't... Shay not being able to get her kind of sucks, too. And Shay's just better. So, Sham, I want to put Sham in S tier, but that's because I'm super biased. So I'm going to put him in A because technically you do have to train him to get him to be a powerhouse. Was he a powerhouse in mine? Yeah. What happened to him? He got whacked by pirates. Pirate ship was pretty bloody. But Sham is so freaking good. He does things that no other character can do. He has access to weapons in Windlands. He's has access to regalia. And everybody wants things from Sham, okay? There's like 3 characters. Shay here, she wants something from Sham. Elmer, or not Elmer. Runa. Where's Runa? Runa wants something from Sham. Who else? I mean, I'm sure there's other people that want things from Sham, but those are like the main 2. And that's so like if you want to use other characters and make them viable, you have to use Sham. If you want Sham to be a little better, you could give him like Amelia, and he'll be good. Sham is good as long as he grows speed. Something he never does when I use him. He typically does it when I do it. The only reason I'm not putting him in S tier is because he does need training. He's available in Chapter 1. He does get staff utility. He gets access to swords. He has special weaponry. He has regalia. He will carry runs, but he doesn't do it right off the bat. You actually do have to train him. So that's why he's like top of A. Still really good unit. Okay, Barret. Oh, Barret. I've thought about this a little bit. She's okay. You should get her in Chapter 3. And for that matter, I'm going to pick Bjarki here. Bjarki's better than Barret. They're both like C tier units, and they kind of do the same thing, so I'm going to rank them together. Bjarki, he can handle a lot more than Barret can, but he's never going to like carry your runs later. You almost never want to make him a special class. Like, Barret and Bjarki both have access to a special class, but he's competing with it for 5 other units. And you never almost want to give it to these 2, because there's one option that's just really, like, way superior than the rest. And his speed growth being so low means that Bjarki will just get doubled and die, probably after chapter... You want to stop using him around chapter 13 and 14. So he's only available for, like, 10 good chapters of being good. So that's why he's here, but he does more than what Barret does. Like, Barret does better later than Bjarki, because she has better growths and she has better, like, supports. But the problem is, you have to set time aside for her and train her, and there's so many other units that would rather have this training that I feel like Bjarki's just slightly edges her out, and Barret is just slightly below him. Now, they're both not as good as Jacka. Jacka's way better than them for the whole game, but they're better than Thea. So I'm placing them together kind of here. Runa. Runa's such an interesting case. She's wants to be a magic unit. There's a lot of things you can do to make her work. Like, there's a weird sage in chapter 13 that you could talk to make her switch her strength and magic so she can actually use archery. Or, if you want to make her viable, you have her support with Sham. Now, this doesn't hurt Sham at all, but Sham wants to give his B support to somebody else. He'd much rather give it to his sister here, Shay, for magic, because it's just better. And then you also get, like, better archers later, too, just that have access to regalia. Now, technically, she does have access to Void Flare, but getting her to that level would be crazy, and no one's going to do that in an Iron Man. Like, if you're just doing that on normal mode, sure. But if you're doing it on the highest difficulty, Runa's just, she's not that viable. She's like D tier. I'm sorry. She's so bad. I think she's even worse than Thea, because Thea gives at least Peshkots to Coulter. Runa, she only takes. Like, you have to give her so many resources to make her work. And most of the time, it's just not worth it. Like, there's going to be units that are better at doing her job, unfortunately. Fred. Fredophiles, rise up. Fred is one of those units I wanted to use, but he got killed by a horse unit that had a halberdier that I didn't see. Fred is so interesting. Like, he's such a volatile unit. Here, I'm going to put this, does something. This is just the does something tier. This tier is little use, or has some niche. some niche. And F tier is just like, don't bother. Like, you can technically make anything work. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can absolutely make a Thea work or a Runa work, but it's not worth it. Fred is probably good, but not amazing tier. I would put... he's probably a little better than Jacka. The reason, like, he's not an A tier or S tier or anything is, like, he does join high level, but his growth rates kind of matter a little bit in Andaron Saga. Like, yeah, bases matter a ton, of course. But growth rates matter a little bit because you're going to have characters for 31 chapters. And Fred's growths are all over the place, so if he never levels, like, strength or speed, because every single one of his growth is, like, 40%. So if he never gets one of the stats that he needs, he'll just be useless. 40 is better than what he used to have, which was 35. And he's the only user of Gladiolus, but I can't put him much higher than B because he's just so volatile. I won't put him lower than C, though, because he does have cavalry use. And he is good enough base stat-wise where he can do things on his own. Estelle. Don't bother. F tier. That's it. We're moving on. All right, fine. I'll say something about Estelle. She's just so not worth using. She doesn't have access to anything special that anybody else can do. Like, any of your other light magic users are gonna be better than Estelle. Dazzle is fine, but most of the time you have other nuke options that are just better. Again, she has access to, like, basically nothing. She joins at such a low level. I think it's literally level 1. And I know it's only chapter 3, but using her for the effort that it takes to use her is not worth what you get out. So just don't even bother with Estelle. It's not worth it. Victoria. I know there's some people that really like Victoria. She's technically a Regalia user, but you'll never see it. She has such weird growth rates, and she does really good in her first chapter, and that's it. She's just good in one chapter. And then I don't feel like she's worth using afterwards. I think I'm going to have to put her in just the don't bother tier. Like, she's better than Estelle. You know what? I'll give her. She's better than Runa. But I think Thea has more usage than Victoria does. I might get some flack for that, but I know people really like, hey, she could use the Brave effect, but she's just so bad. She can't take any hits. She can maybe one round something. But being locked to swords is such a bad thing to be locked to. You really want access to more things. Garum. Here is our first S tier unit. Garum is absolutely fantastic in the game. He does so much. He kills everything. He can tank a ton of things. He has access to a Regalia. And you can technically get this Regalia early if you're really good at beating the Ash Cleaver in Chapter 10. He can pick up anybody. He can't Canto, which is a slight thing against him, but Garum is so good. Like, the choice to kill him or get an energy ring and a level embodiment it's not a choice at all. You want to use Garum. Like, he gets so much damage. With Outrider, his ability makes it so they take less damage and more crit the further you move. And him being a horse, he moves like 7, and then he'll move 8 once he promotes. Cannot recommend him enough. Never kill Garum. Garum is so good. Natalie. So, Natalie being a trainee unit, you might think, oh, she's probably not that good. She's locked to swords as well. Like, how can you make this girl viable? Here's the thing. She has a lot of different ways to use her for whatever you might need. I'm actually going to put Natalie in B tier. Or not, sorry, not A tier. B tier. Better than Jacka, actually. Yeah. Now, why is that? So, she has 2 options, main options for Natalie. One, you can either just send her away. She'll become a hero, and she's perfectly good. She has really good stats about coming back, but you don't get to do all the training with her that you would in Chapter 4. So she comes back like 20 chapters later, but she's good to go from those 20 chapters. she can use a regalia pretty much like right off the bat. And then she has access to axes. So really good unit that way too. You know what? I think she's even better than Fred. Because she always has a guaranteed way of being good. Now, there's also the other fact, like the other part of it, where if you want to train her when she's bad, she has access to a class that gives her Canto Plus. And there's only one unit that gets Canto Plus for free, and you can give Canto Plus to one other one. So you can technically only have 3 Canto Plus users, and Natalie is one of them, if you want to make her that. If for whatever reason you have Natalie on your bench and your thieves are all dead, she can also become a thief. I don't really recommend that one that much, but if you need utility, you can make her a thief. But very underutilized unit. I think people might not realize how good Natalie is just because she starts as a trainee. But with her options as a trainee, or if you're like, no, I can't afford to put resources into her, she comes back. Really good unit, really usable. So definitely B tier. Alonda. Alonda's weird. She's kind of a limited time unit, but she also comes back. I don't think I could put her in limited time because she's technically available end game and beginning game. And I think Alonda, okay, you know what? We'll put her in limited time as well, but Alonda is the best limited time unit. Why is this? She has access to a regalia, like literally in chapter 9. It's super good. The Cessnally is pretty good though. Some would say argue better than the Ranger. High crit rates. So, okay. You know what? Before we talk to Alonda, let me put this. So the reason why I can understand why you would love Assassin Natalie, and she'll probably just kill everything, right? The reason that Canto Plus is so good is being able to attack and then move out of the way, and someone else comes in and attack, moves out of the way, or she has rescue utility with a horse. Like, and there's just like there's other people that can do it, but Canto Plus is so good. Like, have you seen Kurt? Like, I didn't use Kurt, but Kurt is so good because of Canto Plus. I'm not saying that Assassin is bad. I think Assassin is probably the second best class you could pick if she was to stay as a trainee. But I feel like Canto Plus is just so valuable that you can't really rate it under crit boost. Plus, if you need someone to kill things, you just have Garum here, right? I know you're not supposed to like compare directly, but like if you think of like cost of units, Natalie, she does something that no one else can do. She can be a Canto Plus unit, and she can use the Hellblazer. And Natalie, oh, another thing about Natalie, she is going to be your best Hellblazer user. There's no one else that can do it quite as well as she can. Maybe I should put Natalie in A. Unpopular opinion, maybe. I'm putting her here. Just because she has access to so many things that make her viable. Whether you want to train her or not. Okay, so Alonda is the best limited time unit. I almost want to put Alonda in like top of A tier, maybe bottom of S tier, if I was to place her anywhere. But she's technically only available for like such a small period of time that I have to put her here. So what's the reasoning for that? She has access to Starfall. She's the only one that can use Starfall in your army. Starfall gives 10 magic and like 10 luck. She nukes everybody with it. Also, training Alonda gives you like more money. So it's not a complete waste of time to give it to her. And again, spoilers, she's available in the last chapter for free and promotes based off of what your stats are. So my Alonda, since she was already max level, I got a black gem from her. She did super good nuking, super good with just utility. Alonda is amazing. Like, there's no unit that does what she does for free. She also has Nihil in the final chapter, which is really valuable. So yeah, use Alonda. Don't put her on the bench or don't get her killed. She's really good. Theodore. Theodore's in like top of A rank unit. Theodore is so good. Why is Theodore so good? He has access to 2 regalias, which like nobody else has. One other unit has. He's available from like chapter 6, and then he's available for basically the entire game except for two other chapters. So majority of the game he's there. He's kind of like your actual Jagan, but he's more like an Oifi because he has good growth rates and great bases. So he can use Dire Thunder, which is just a normal tome that only House Rose can use. There's only 3 people that can use it. Him, Lilynette, and Christina if you make her a paladin. But he gets all of this for like free. He can also give access to a regalia as early as chapter 14, at the end of chapter 14, if you support him with Sam. So there's just no one else that can quite do what Theodore can. He also has access to a horse, you know, so he can rescue drop. Goes and kills things. Super good. I don't think there's too much more you can say about this, like how good this man is. Now, if I was smart, I would have brought up like the actual starting stats, and I could probably still do that for all the characters if you want to see that. Zach, I'm going to talk about later. We're going to talk about him with Dawn. Amelia. Amelia's got some major problems. Like, she's fun, but she has some major problems. So she's a magic user, and she's the only magic user that doesn't have access to staves when she promotes. That already makes her worse than training like literally anybody else. Yeah, she has a ton of crit, but she's also kind of frail. So she'll just kind of fold over if she kills too many things. She's really good at being a support partner, and that's about it. Like, my Amelia fell off instantly when Sham died, and she never recovered. I think Amelia's better than Bjarki and Barrett, and she's got some more utility over these guys with her aura, but she's just not really worth the investment that almost anybody else would give you. So I have to rank her kind of low. I'm thinking top of C for now. Another like problem that she had, like, she has a good introduction, but being a mage, she's only got like 5 moves to start as well. And again, being sage, she doesn't get access to staves. It's just so bad to have a mage that does that. Now she does have access to a regalia, which makes her here, but I still think everybody else up here is way better than Amelia. Buggy. This unit would be useless and garbage if he wasn't a thief. So with it being a thief, he at least could steal things and open chests in case your culture's dead for whatever reason. But I feel like he's such a bad investment, and like his movement is always going to be lower than your other thieves. He gets access to peaks, but training him it's just not worth it usually. Like, I did it for a funny meme thing, but and he has like some niche, so I'm gonna put him here. But literally any other thief you get is gonna be better than Boogie, and he's just not worth it either. He's kind of like an Amelia situation, but at least Amelia helps people more than what Boogie can do. So we're gonna put him there. Jaheira. His double sacrifice for the Philly Shield bumps him up at least 1 tier. Okay. He did steal the Philly Shield, so I guess he had enough speed for that. That's after a Boogie blasted. You know what? Because he's a thief, we'll put him here. Fine. You've convinced me just because he's a thief that he's not D tier. But literally, you have 2 other thieves that are already better at his job than him. Jaheira is one of those characters that's one of my favorites. Like, she's a flyer. She is your earliest flyer that you get for free. You have a better one, technically, the next chapter. Here, I'm going to talk about Shay as well at the same time. So you have 2 flyers here. Jaheira, though, I think will go here. She's better than... No, she's not better than Theodore. No, she is. So for flyer utility, she actually has a really good utility that no one else has access to. At least guaranteed. I say that because Shay does have technically one problem. Here you'll get for free. If she dies in chapter 7, you get her back in chapter 8. If she dies before any of those points, you can get her back again when you go to the Tomei arc, which is like chapter 20, 21? I think it's 20. So she has a lot of availability. She also has access to, like Natalie, a promotion if you don't train her. So like for whatever reason, if you decide you want to put Jahira on the bench, she'll be fine. Like you could just send her away and she'll promote and become with a special weapon that she only gets, a worm blade. You don't need this blade to make her good. She was in my run through the entire time. She did exactly what she needed to do, and she will do that for you too. Like if you need a flyer, Jahira's got you. She will literally go hit somebody, come back, go there's a village you couldn't get to, or come back. Flyer utility is just so good. And Jahira kills things as well. So she's kind of there. I almost want to put her S tier, but I think Garam's technically better than she is. Shay. So, all those things I said about Jahira are the same and true about Shay. Shay has one thing that's against her though, and one thing that's for her. What's that? The one thing that's against Shay is there's only one unit that can recruit her. That's Sham. If Sham dies, or if you don't for whatever reason deploy him for chapter 8, you cannot get Shay. Or if he dies before Shay talking to Shay. Or Shay could just suicide into him if you're not careful. So like that's the only problem, is you need this man to recruit her. If you don't consider that too big of a cost though, which I don't think it should be too big, you should be able to have Sham, at least even a base level Sham can get her. She has access to magic, anima magic. Now she can only get this through Sham again. So like she has so much utility and so much better like like niche stuff that she can do. But she relies on Sham for that anima magic. She has access to staves, which is really good for a flyer. Actually, they changed that. If she dies before 8, God can recruit her. Oh, really? Okay. Well, in that case, she's definitely S tier. Because she has access to Regalia. She has access to all of the Windlance weapons, which there's like 4 different weapons. I mean, Hoarfrost, Windsword, Ice Lance, and then I think there's one other one I'm forgetting about. So Shay just has access to so many things and so many like weapons options, good rescue aid, anima, staves, that she just kind of goes like, even if she doesn't get the anima from Sham, she's still going to be really good. So I think she just barely bumps Jahira out of being that best flyer. But yeah, Shay's I can't recommend using her enough. And if you do have the Pyrrhion shield, she uses it pretty well. Kurt, my man. I did. So in my Iron Man, I sacrificed Kurt to make sure that we could survive the caves after killing the Dora. Could I have sacrificed somebody else? Probably. But it was really funny at the time. Kurt is an S tier unit as well. I think he's even better than Shay. Is he better than Garam? With his regalia, he is. All right. Touch me if I'm like, tell me if I'm crazy. I think Kurt is one of the best units in the game. And that's because he has access to Kanto Plus. Is this still going to be the only one? No, there's going to be someone else down there. Don't worry. I know it feels like Estelle is by herself right now, but she deserves to be down there. So Kurt, he's got like I mentioned previously many other times. Kanto Plus is so good and so broken. He's the only one that gets it naturally at base. He also gets access to Gale Shot. Gale Shot is an absolutely broken regalia. It gives you 10 speed and skill and lets you attack again or move again after getting a kill with it. There's just only one other character that can kind of do what he does, but he's the only character that can do both. Have Kanto Plus and access to regalia. So I think Kurt is probably like a top 3 unit in the game. Like, you want to use him. And he comes with the Master Seal. If you want to promote him immediately, you can. If you don't want to, you can give it to somebody else. Or you could just do what I did and sack him for content. Haley! Ruff is going to be down there, unfortunately. Oh, what do you mean? You sure? Yeah, there's definitely going to be somebody else down there. We're not saying who. Harriet. This is not Harriet. Haley. Haley is who I think they wanted you to use, but she's a sniper. She's also pretty weak. Like, and she doesn't have nearly as much range or utility as Kurt does. Like, I ended up using Haley in the finale, and she couldn't do anything unless she has Gale Shot. So if Haley has access to Gale Shot, she's fine. But without it, she's kind of bad, and there's somebody else that uses it better. And it's like, oh, well, why not just trade it between them? Kurt is going to be so far away from Haley doing his own thing because he's on a horse that Haley's never going to catch up to this guy. I still think that I do have to give her some credit. So I will put her in B tier. I think, yeah, like if Kurt didn't exist, and like I know it's kind of a pitfall or something, you know, like you shouldn't like compare units directly, obviously. But there's only certain units that can use certain items, and you always want Kurt to have Gale Shot over Haley. Like, always. So, like, she's just in a bad situation because Kurt exists. If Kurt did not exist, she probably would feel way better and way more unique. But because of Kurt, and because of other units that you get just throughout the game, it feels hard to train her. And she is, like, only B rank or something. I mean, she might be A rank. I might be wrong. I think she's B rank in like bows, so she can't even use it right off the bat. And Kurt gets a whole extra chapter to get S rank. So I'll put her. She's like probably better than Jacka because of Gale Shot, but Fred is definitely better than Haley. I'm sorry, Haley. I really want to like you, but it's just not. You're just not good. Oh man, the trainee units. Oh, Elmer. So, I know people like Elmer. I know people think he's funny, but he's really not that good. He doesn't have access to anything specifically, and he doesn't, like, really pay off, I think. I might get some heat for this one, but I think Elmer's bad. He's probably better than Estelle. But I don't think you should really bother with Elmer. Like, Elmer's best sacrifice that he did for me was he rescued Angelus so that he could live longer. Like, I guess having access to 2 range is fine, but Estelle's like a similar position. They just don't do anything. And there's so many other units that you want to train and use that the cost, effort to use Elmer just isn't worth it. And he doesn't really have access to, like, anything special either. So, unfortunately, Elmer's going to be in an F-tier unit. Sorry, Elmer. Christina. This might be a little more biased. She comes a chapter later than Elmer. But I think she's a D-tier unit. Now, why do I think she's a D-tier? The chapter that you get her, you can train her to 10. I did terrible at training her to 10, but in just like runs where I've done by myself, Christina's been able to get there plenty of times. Like, I did a terrible job of showcasing it, and I had to sacrifice Garum for her. But the reason that she's so much better is that she gets access to horses. So you can make her like the same class as Jacko, being a halberdier, but she wants to be on a horse. And she also has access to 2 different regalias in case, for whatever reason, your Theodore dies or your Lilynette doesn't have access to the Alistair. And I think she's got like a lot more benefit and niche utility than these guys ever will. So that's why I'm putting Christina above Elmer in some niche. And again, the other thing that she does do is she does have a lot of really good supports that also make her better, and it's pretty worth using. Harriet. This is a staff bot. And she's just like a staff bot that you don't need. Like, you already have a Lilynette. You could have Shay or Sham be promoted for staff utility. Or you could even have a Stout available. And the, like, access for her, like, there's so many other units you want to use that Harriet is just, she kind of falls by the wayside. Like, you don't want to use her, like, ever. Now, that being said, I do think she does something. Just because she has staff utility, she has access to her staffs, you can use her in any situation. She can be useful on any map. There's always someone that can do her job better, but she's never a waste of a spot. So I'll put her in C, just kind of above everyone else here, just because she does something. And you can promote her immediately if you want to. So that's good. Ariel, 9 to 5 Cav. What do we even say about the 9 to 5 Cav? Like, she's so bad. She's so bad. Like, I know you shouldn't compare it directly to Garum, but she has literally no aid. Her stats suck. She can't take hits. She can't kill anything. She has to have Ass Cleaver too, and then she's kind of inaccurate. I think Ariel's really bad. I think Ariel's like a D tier unit. Like, she's a Regalia user, and she's so bad. Like, at least... And you have to have this girl. You have to have Victoria to recruit her, too, on top of that. And Victoria could be dead by this point. So, getting use out of her is crazy. Now, the funny thing is, I actually, in my run, managed to get use out of Ariel, and I was just disappointed constantly by her. Like, she just didn't do anything. And then she clocked out at the end, but she'll get, like, doubled by everybody. She can't take hits. She can't kill things. She can't rescue utility anybody. And then she's weak to both armor and horse slayer units. Like, I know, like, that shouldn't be, like, a huge factor because there's other people that have weaknesses as well. It just, she gets really exploited by it. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Ariel fans. She's just bad. At least she has some niche, but it's low. Is Christina better than Ariel? Christina you get if Samuel doesn't die. So I will say, Christina, you have to have Samuel live in order to get her. Ariel, you don't need her for anything. You know what? I think Ariel's actually even worse than, like, Thea. Because at least Thea has Peshkots for Coulter. Ariel has, like, literally nothing. Ariel's probably better than Victoria, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Sad to say. Rod. Our boy Rod, the Rambunctious. What do you guys think of Rod, huh? Where do you think he is? Just making sure that this looks good. It does. Rod is bad. He's so bad. Why is he bad? He comes at level 10. You have to have Thea or Coulter alive to recruit him. But you never want to use him. Like, ever. His stats are so bad. Like, in order to get him, you have to not kill him in Chapter 1, okay? Then you have to have either Thea or Coulter deployed on the south end of the map to get him. And, on top of all of that, Like, his stats, they're just not good. Here, you know what? In the middle of this, I'm actually going to bring up something for you guys to look at while we're doing this, okay? So, I think there's, like, someone that made an Andaron Saga guide, okay? I'm going to make sure we credit this guy. Phil. I think his name's Phil. We're going to use his guide. And his stats just are so bad. Like, you do not want to use this unit. Like, at all. Give me a second and I'll bring it up here. Come here. Okay. Now let me add a thingy. Oh, you guys can see it. You guys can see me just on here. Perfect. I don't have to add anything. So, you see this, right? This unofficial game guide thing. Let's scroll down to the bottom of this. Here. Let me move this here. This will help like show some base stats of things. Come on, guide. Thank you once again, Phil. So I should probably be using this as I'm talking about them before I go. I'll just go over a couple of them, I guess, that kind of stand out. Yeah, here's Ariel, by the way. 12 speed. She gets leveled by everybody. So here's Rod. All right. Here's what he gets. He's 34 base HP, 13 strength, 12 skill, 13 speed, 6 luck, 8 defense, 4 res. And he has 5 move. He comes at level 10, so you can promote him immediately. Great. He has something called Cheap Shot. He gets 6 damage when he initiates battle. So, what? Gets to 19 strength on his turn? He just doesn't do anything with swords. You actually have to invest so heavily into him to make him even work. These stats are not good for this point. Like, he cannot do it. And he doesn't have access to, like, anything special either. So, yeah, unfortunately, Rod's just bad. Don't bother with him. He's better than Estelle and Elmer, because at least you can technically do something in the first chapters, but he's not worth it. Isabel. I think we all know where Isabel's going. Isabel's, like, literally the lord of the game. She is so unbelievably good. I didn't even promote her at 20. I think I promoted her at, like, level 18. You get her... The only way to get Isabel is to just not kill her. As long as you don't kill her, you get her. Super easy to do. She also has access to Dawncaller and Bulwark. She's so worth using, in fact. Like, she has access to a secret, like, to a Steel Knight promotion, Galahad's class, and she's the only one that has a 3rd tier promotion in the game. Like, she probably should have been the main character over Jacka. She feels like the actual lord. What about weapon effectiveness? There's not really that much weapon effectiveness that she needs to really worry about. Like, I never had a problem with armor slaying weapons. It's mostly horse slayers in the game. And, again, she does things that nobody else can do. She can solo maps. If you have Dawncaller, it makes her even better. Like, she can just go off by herself. She has a great support. That's something that only she can do. Technically, Thea can do it too, but you want to give it to Isabel. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Dawncaller is something that only a couple characters have access to, I think. It's Bodymon, Isabel, Alistair, and Dawn. And Isabel is the best user of it. Not immediately, but easily becomes the best user of it. I'll kind of circle back to her around when she has some more relevant characters that pop up here. All right, Jesse. He's a backup thief. he technically has access to a regalia, and I kind of tried to use it on him, but he just died. Jesse's just, he's in the utility unit, but Coulter's always going to be better than Jesse. I think we can't really put Jesse any higher than B rank. Like, he has at least some thief utility, and he'll be better than Boogie for sure. But Coulter will already do his job better than him, and Coulter with Peshkots is better than Hellblazer Jesse, so you don't really want to train him that way. 7 movement, free. But yeah, Jesse's just, he's a thief. You can't really do too much with him. And like, I guess I'll show his growth rates here. There you go. He has kind of low strength magic, and you see like he starts at 10 strength and 12 magic. There's going to be other characters that just have better stats all around. At least he has 20 speed. But for like a pre-promote, he's just not that good. Crixus. Crixus is probably like one of those limited time units that you'll never see. How do I even rate this unit? He's unique. He has life and death, but you'll like never have him. Like, he's only 1% chance to get. I guess he's better than Madeline, but you'll never see this character. Alistair. Let's move down to him. So, aka Albert. Super good, has access to Nihil. He's one of only 4 units that can have it, but he's the only one that will have it for most of the game. There's 2 other units that can learn it from him, and that's Thea and Isabel. So you have to get an A rank. The thing is, you have A rank with Coulter probably for Peshkots, and trading Thea to have Nihil just probably isn't worth it. Trading Isabel to Nihil is definitely worth it. It means that all their bosses don't get their abilities against you. It just kind of like shuts down every boss fight. It's so good. I think that he has to be an S-tier unit. Is he better than Kurt? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what do these units all have common? They all have something that they can do that nobody else can quite do. In Garm's case, he can kill things. He has Excalibur, best user of it. He can tank everything. You don't have like a really good tank. Shay has a flying access to staves and magic. Kurt, Canto Plus. And these both have Nihil. Now, my Isabel never had Nihil, and she was still good. Like, she still was one of the best characters, which is why she's over Albert. But I do think Albert is like one of the best characters in the game just because Nihil is so good. And he has access to staves as well. Like, there's no one else that does what he can do. I don't think I really need to explain that further. Yeah. Like, he could get this stuff, you don't need that stuff. Let's talk about Dawn. Poor Dawn. I used to be a huge Dawn fan. But she's not nearly as good at using the Dawn Collar as Albert or Isabel is. Like, you get the Dawn Collar and she just comes by extension. Like, is she good? Yeah. Does she kill things? Sure. But my first round of combat with her, like chapter 17, I think I put her in range of some monsters, like 3 monsters, and each one hit her and she just died. She doesn't have access to Nihil, she has access to Renewal, and Renewal is on Dawn Collar anyways. So, like, she's good, but there's just way better units than her. I still think she's, like, better than Natalie, because she doesn't need to be trained. She has some of the best growth rates, so she'll continue to be about the level that you need her to be. She'll just be like a little frail defensively, but that's about it. Everybody else above her does something though that she just doesn't quite do. Like Sham has access to Glacies. She has access to a different regalia in healing, thief utility, access to more utility, and he's there way longer. Flying utility. So it's like Dawn, she used to be like one of my favorite units. I would put her as like the best unit in the game, and that was my first time playing. But I think more realistically, like she's still an A tier unit, but she's not as good as all these other characters, and she doesn't do anything unique like that Albert or Isabel can't do better because they have Nihil. Or Isabel doesn't even need Nihil and she'll still do better. Zach. Here's where I might get killed a little bit. If anybody watches this later. Like this might be some like rage bait. So in order to use Zach, this is actually I have a secret. This is the whole reason why I created the tier list. Was because of Zach. Let's take a look. Zach is Zach's back up there. I don't need to look at him. So, what do you need to do to get Zach? You need to do non-Dawn color route. What does that mean? That means no Dawn. You don't get a unlimited use 1-2 range sword for the entire game that both Isabel and Albert can use for the entire game as well as Dawn. They can all use it about the same time. So they have 3 options. He gives you access to Lumina Staff. Lumina Staff, it's really good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it heals all of your units, and it gives you a status. Like, it heals all status as well. And there's some chapters where having Lumina is really good, like on the Dragon chapter. But here's the thing. You want Dawncaller on those chapters too, even with the Lumina 1 staff. And you have 3 users of it, whereas if Zach dies, the Lumina staff, it just breaks and it's gone. Like, you can't get it back. Is Zach a good combat unit? Yeah. He has staff utility too. Great. But Zach costs you the Dawncaller. And because Zach costs the Dawncaller for you, and it makes every chapter harder to use Zach, I think he's the worst character in the game. Yeah, you also can't have to do Jacko unless you kill Wanda. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's another thing. Like, Zach costs you so many resources. Like, is he good as a unit? Like, if we look at Zach in a vacuum, Zach is probably like an A unit, right? A tier unit. He's probably even better than Dawn. But because he makes all of your maps harder, and he takes away from Jacka, he actively like makes problems. Zach is an F tier unit. Yep, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. Okay, so you can come down. Caroline, I know there's some people that are gonna come after you for this Zach placement. Caroline, she's a secret unit. You could technically get her later. I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna be even more. I think it was something else I was gonna mention for him too. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we'll leave him there for now. Oh, I was gonna bring it to a Nuzlocke. That's right. So if you think of like Nuzlocks for Pokemon, right? Because I'm gonna put this into even more perspective. Like, you can, if you're, let's just talk about Kanto region here. If you have Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, you might like Charmander, but taking Charmander actively makes your run harder than picking the other 2. The same thing is true for Zach. That's why he gets this. It's very similar in what you can tell there. So, I mean, if you want a bigger explanation, or if somebody wants to like really argue on why Zach should be higher, you can. But I think he actively makes it harder. All right, I'll get off Zach's box now. We're gonna talk about Caroline. We're gonna move on. So Caroline, secret unit, you have to just kind of know how to get her if you want her early, but that's true for most of this game. I think that she's a really good unit, but she's not fantastic. She's probably like right here. She's better than like Fred and even like Haley. Probably even like Jesse. No. No, I think Jesse might be more useful. Just being a thief and opening chests is can have some more use than just Caroline. Like Caroline's a fight unit. She's good, but she doesn't have anything super special about her. She doesn't hold you back. She just kind of slots in. Now for my run, my Jacka was in danger of getting killed by Thors, so I used Caroline as a distraction, and it worked perfectly. Aisha. Aisha's one of those units that surprised me a lot. Like Aisha, you would feel like she should be bad because she's unpromoted. You have to train her, but she has access to a pretty accurate brave weapon, and she literally just crits everything. She doesn't even need help. She crits everything. I kept thinking like, oh yeah, I'll get Aisha killed later, and I could never do it if I run. I can say it. Like I thought, okay, we'll just kill Aisha off later, or we'll use somebody else. But she was so invaluable to my team because of where I was. I think she's better than all these other characters for sure here. I don't think she's better than Jackie necessarily. We could probably put her in B. I'll bump her up to B, but she's like near the bottom of B because you still have to train her and she comes kind of late. But she's so good that she does more than everybody else below her from where she gets. So, and like, I'll just show you guys here. If we show Aisha off here, she comes with a lot of strength. Her ability to take -6 damage when she's at one, when people are in melee, which she wants to be most of the time anyways. And then she just gets a lot of free experience because she's on a boat. Chapter 15, so. And then, like, growth rate wise here, like, her skill's a little low. But if you have any skill books, there's not a lot of units that want to use the skill books other than her, so you can always give it to her. So, really good unit. Really solid, all-around unit. She can slot into any team perfectly fine. Doesn't do anything, like, special necessarily, but she can slot into any team. Sigrid. Sigrid is so interesting because she was one of the units where I actively said I'm not going to use her. And then all my staff units died. And I said, you know what? I have to use her. I'm going to change the music here real quick. What should we let's do? Let's listen to some echoes. Echoes. Echoes is always nice. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, Sigrid. She's like, it's so weird because she has access to staves, so she's good. But she's also dies to anything as long as she doesn't have a Nosferatu. Like, she's such a weird niche. But she's the only one that can do it because she has Miracle. Alonda technically has Miracle with Starfall. I think because of her staff utility, and because she can take literally any hit for free. Like, she could get hit by, like, 5,000 damage and she'll live. She's better than, like, Harriet. And she's better than Amelia and all of these kind of, like, mid blokes here. Like, she's got something special that only she can do, but she does come at such a low level that you kind of have to train her so she won't get doubled. She has access to some, like, a really, really good tome that only she and one other character can use. But in order to get it, you need to use a really mid unit, and you have to support them. I don't know who would ever use that unit, but you would have to use them. I'm going to put her here just because other units technically are better for your army, but if you have a spot, she's worth it. Ralfnir. Well, I think to no one's surprise, Ralfnir is the worst character other than Zack in the game. Why is this? Well, he's a trainee that shows up in, like, what is it? 15, chapter 16, and you don't really have any good way to train him up. Like, I trained him. I got up to level 10, and then he just died the next chapter. Like, Ralfnir is so bad. It's like growth rates and everything just don't make it worth using. Like, he wants to be the Jarl class, but you have to train him up. You only get 2 chapters. Literally 2 chapters to make him ready to get to his, like, 3rd tier promotion. And in Iron Man, it's just not doable. So, Ralfnir, you put him down there. Like, I'm sorry, there's nothing redeeming about this guy. Like, he has Wrath, but he's never going to use it because he's just going to die. Helga. Best unit in the game. Why is she the best unit in the game? She has magic Gale Force, and she just one-shots, like, everything. Like, you just give her access, and she has access to an amazing tome if you want to do a mid support for her. So, let me show you guys. Here we go. Here's Ralfnir. He's bad. There's Ralfnir. He's still bad. Here's Sigrid. Amazing. Not Sigrid. Helga. So, for Helga here, you can give her Gale Force. To do it, you have to kill 13 portals, I think, in chapter 17, which is doable. I managed to do it, and everything was falling apart. Good song. Helga. Let me see if I can find her. Where is she? So she has access to Volsunga, which is really good if she supports Halfdan. Volsunga is like a really light, really powerful Nosferatu tome that only her and Sigrid can use. And then with Gale Force on top of that, I don't think there's anybody that's better than her at doing it. Like, there's costs for getting Gale Force for the other people, but she just has it. Like, Kurt has access to Gale Force, and so does Haley, but they need the regalia for it. She has access to it the whole time for the entire game, and she's a flyer. Like, she has utility no one else will get. So yeah, that's why she's the best character in the game. Halfdan. This unit is so mid. Like, he's okay if you literally have nobody else. And he gives some good supports. But why would you use him? Like, everybody else is better. So, I don't know. I feel like Sigrid's probably better than him. Like, he's kind of like the same as Bjarki, but he just comes later. I think he's here. He's like bottom of C. Like, you can use him, but you'll have so many other units that should be trained up at this point, unless you literally have nobody that just does his job better. Like, Halfdan, here. I'll show you his stats here. So he has 16 speed, which you might not think is terrible, but he joins in chapter 19. If we look at Helga here, she comes with 23 speed and 20 magic, and she comes a chapter earlier. Like, she has not as much defense, but she still murders everybody. He can kind of murder somebody, but he's also got, like, he might have some hit problems, or, like, he just isn't good. I'm sorry, but Halfdan just is not good. But he's better than the rest because he can at least do something. Okay. The route split, people. So here we have Miriam and Ash. They join, you get one or the other, depending on if you killed Lenora. Ash is better. She has some access to things that nobody else does. Miriam's still good, though, because she's a flyer. Ash is way more... She costs a lot more to get, though, but she's worth it. So here, we'll talk about Miriam first. Miriam I don't have as much experience with, because I almost always try to blast Lenora. But she has access to Luna. And if I show you here, like, she's got really good strength, pretty good speed. Again, a flyer. So she'll always do something for you. But you also have other flyers, and all the other flyers you get, except for like Madeline, are probably better and more worth using than she is at this point. Like if they're all dead, sure. But Miriam, she's okay. Like that's it. She's just okay. So with flyer utility, I'll put her in B rank. Luna's really good. But there's just other things that people do that she cannot do. Surface unit, but that's about it. Ash. Ash is way harder to get, but she has access to something in Tomato Arc that no one else does. She has access to a Meteor Tome, which can get rid of one of the scariest bosses for free. She's the only one that can do it. She also has some fire spirits. Those help a little bit. She gets some special items, and she gets some extra help on a chapter. Now, to get her, though, you have to kill Lenora. And killing Lenora is sometimes really difficult. So, she's kind of lower because of that, but if you can get her, I'm going to put her here. If it wasn't for her cost, I'd probably put her more like around here, or even up here. But because she's so hard to get, I think she's better than Dawn. And I think she's better than Natalie. And there's not that many staff units. So having access to an extra one for free is just really nice. Chicken Tendies. The dragon mannequin guy. So the problem with Tendies is he has 5 moves. Because of Helga, you can get a pair of boots by this time, which I did, and I gave it to him. And it makes him way more viable. The 5 move is really bad. But he's also a dragon, and he has an infinite weapon. And he has access to Drakeguard if you can keep them all alive. So, like, he has, like, some cost benefits of him. But he's also, just because he's such a low move, you almost never see this guy get used. I feel like he's better than, like, Aisha. Like, Jack probably does more than what he does most of the time. And again, he's good, but you have to use boots on him in order to make him viable. To just use around your army and keep up. So, just a little unfortunate. But still pretty passable unit. Like, here, I'll show you guys. So, for Chicken Tendies here, like, he has really good growth rates. He has pretty good bases. Like, not amazing bases, but pretty good to the fact where his growth rates will carry him and get him to where he needs to be. He can always have a holy symbol on him in, like, an elixir, and he'll be fine. But there's also just way better units that you could use other than Tendies. Like I said, he is okay. Varg. I think Varg is pretty underutilized. I know some people really like Amelia, but he has access to saves, and he can use his regalia, like, almost immediately. Like, he joins you a chapter, and in the next chapter, you get his regalia. Now, that chapter being Tomb of Horrors is like, it makes it a little hard. But he is a free unit to use. He has, like, no training that you need. And as we've already established, being a staff bot unit is always good, too. I think Varg is better than, like, most of these guys. But he doesn't do something special, necessarily. Like, he still gets weighed down a ton by Void Flare. He can one-shot a lot of monsters. but you don't want him to take more than 1 or 2 opponents. And there's just other better staff units that you've had for a while. So Varg, completely usable. If you need somebody, if you have like access between like, I don't know, like Varg, Tendies, Miriam, Ash, you're gonna want to use Varg. Varg is just good. Not amazing, like I said, but good. Dancer. She goes up with Angelus. She's a dancer. What else can I say? Like, technically she has a better dance than Angelus, but Angelus is with you for longer, so Angelus is technically better. Only 4 more units? Is that it? Is that all we have? Darius. Darius does something that nobody else can do, even though he joins late. He has access to a skeleton that just never dies and does damage and can take more than a hit. Darius has some incredible utility. I think Darius is actually, he's probably like better than having like Shay. Maybe even Garum. Yeah, the reason he's so high is because he has access to Ahmed. And he can shop, like he has an ability that makes it so you can buy weapons for less. You're probably not going to use him that much for it though. But Darius being able to summon a skeleton and you can just constantly block it. That's something no one else can do. Like if you lose Darius, it's going to be pretty hard for you to make any progress. Zephyr, I really wanted to use this girl. I really, really wanted to use her. The problem is, she doesn't... She's like a replacement unit. Like, she doesn't do anything special, and I really want her to. Like, pretty cute paladin female girl, but you just have so many better units at this point. Like, literally all of these units up here do something more than she does. And, like, you already have, like, a staff bot unit here that could be better. I think that she's, like, kind of in the middle. Like, she's kind of here. She does something. She has staff utility. She can attack. She does support. But she's not going to be better than, like, anybody else up here. I'm sorry, Zephyr fans. We have Johnny Boy here. Johnny Boy's fun. Like, he's a staff bot. He has access to light magic. But that's it. He's just like a staff bot unit. But he's free. Well, yeah, I think he's free. I think you can like recruit him with Jacka. He's not better than Natalie. He's not better than Varg. He's probably better than like Aisha and Tendies. Good, but doesn't do anything special. Just a late game staff bot unit that you can use. Cyrus. Cyrus does something special that nobody else can do. And that is he can use Hellblazer, his regalia at base, and he is Wary Fighter. He never gets doubled. But he can double others with Brave Weapons, or he can just... He has access to Aegis and Pavice if he supports with John. So he does something that nobody else can quite do. And the other thing you need to do is not kill his men, which I think is actually pretty easy. Like, it's not that hard to get Cyrus. I'm actually going to put him here in A tier, just below Natalie, because Natalie is a better user of Hellblazer than he is. Okay. So, I think this is my list for Andaron Saga Iron Man and all the characters that you get here. Quite a few B ranks. There's a lot of good A rank units. And then there's just like some absolutely garbage ones. Like, we all know it's Rothnir. Rothnir was going to get the bottom of the boot. Hopefully, you guys can see why it is the way that it is. And if you have some disagreements about Zach's placement, you can rage about it later. But I think it's time to do something a little more funny. Let's do Rebellion Saga. Are they dead or not? Tier list. This one is more just fun discussion of, are they actually going to be alive in Andaron Saga 2? Or they make it for sure? I don't know. But let's find out. Let's find out how much of the cast has actually died for it. So, we could talk about Gideon first. Gideon is dead. He gets smoked by Cathis in the final chapter. Nothing about it. Has a special cutscene for it and everything. He's just like super dead. And with that, where's Penelope? Penelope, she's also super dead. She dies before Gideon, generally. No, always, because Gideon has the actor scene even if he dies in the middle of the fight. These guys, super dead. No ifs and buts about it. Helios. Helios is an interesting case. Do we think Helios is dead? We know that he got, again, spoilers for Rebellion Saga. So leave if you haven't seen Rebellion Saga. I might be wrong about this. Like, I know he blew himself up, but he's probably like a harbinger somewhere. I'm going to put maybe, because it's possible he might not be dead, depending on what's canon. Because I knew like he blew himself up. But if he's a harbinger and we never killed him, he might be alive. Maybe. We know Alinora is 100% alive. She lives with Aloria. We know Angelus is 100% alive. He is in Andaron Saga. Callum is recruited with you at the beginning of the game with Gideon, and there's no way not to recruit him, so he is definitely dead. Ragnar is definitely dead. Same thing. Rosalina is definitely dead in all of her variations. Why is there so many variations of Rosalina? Like, they almost all look the same. Here, we'll put the Hardwood here. She's 100% dead as well. All four of them. Durant gets teleported out before the fight even starts. So he's definitely alive somewhere. I think he's 100% alive. Unless we consider him being like a literal demon and that kills him. But if we don't consider him being maybe a different entity completely, I'm going to put Helios is certainly dead. He's probably certainly dead. Durant, I think, is 100% alive, and we are going to have to fight him on Andaron Saga 2. Madeline, she's 100% alive as well. You see it the whole game. She's in Andaron Saga, therefore she's alive. Jacob is dead. There's no way around it. He's so dead. If he doesn't die in your army just randomly, he'll die from Wester. Rest in peace, Jacob. I am glad that we kind of avenge him later. Aubrey is 100% alive. Obviously, she's in Andaron Saga, and she actively is trying to work against Jock and the crew. Drago's probably alive. He gets turned into a gold statue. We don't know if we could undo the gold statue, but he technically didn't get melted, so he's probably alive, just he's stuck at the gold statue. Walter is 100% alive. He's off on another continent, and you see that. Reynard is dead. He's dead. You don't see him. Celeste and Quentin. These guys are all part of House Rose. They all just get nuked by Cathis. It's kind of sad, unfortunately. Good music for this time. Nathaniel's leading a school. He gets teleported out by Varg. He's 100% alive. Teaching at some random academy in Styxia. Which is really funny to think about. Like, here, we'll put him up here, just because people really love Nathaniel for some reason. Bill is dead. He gets nuked. And, like, I don't think there's any way around it. I think he dies. Maybe he might just be certainly dead, but I know Cathis can hit him. So I'm going to say he's dead. Dimitri is alive because he can go with Baudimon. Same with Alan. So either Alan or Dimitri can go, depending on if you go A or B route, and they can go with Baudimon. And we know that Baudimon mentions them in Andaron Saga. So they're out there somewhere. So we actually might see Dimitri in Andaron Saga too. I'd be surprised if we saw Alan either. Bert. If you don't recruit Bert, then he might not be dead, but he's also a brigand. So I think Bert is like the most maybe dead out of anybody. Because if you don't kill him as brigand and you don't recruit him, he'll never get smashed by Cathis. So he's just maybe. Nalani. Nalani's interesting because it's like you have different routes, right? And they've kind of explained previously that the routes are kind of both canon in a way, but you can't do both canonly. So I think if they know Nalani, she's dead. I'm gonna put almost certainly dead, unless for whatever reason her route's not canon. Yvonne. She's alive. There's so many reasons why she's alive. So, one is if you do support with Callum and she talks to Harriet, she will leave in the middle of the battle, I believe. So she won't get nuked. You can also just not recruit her in Chapter 3A, and she'll never be part of the group. So there's so many reasons why Yvonne would be alive at the end of Rebellion Saga. Galahad's alive. Obviously. He's canonly alive through the entire thing. Astrid's alive, and this one's kind of dumb. She's a gladiator in the Viking arena. And for some reason, she just gets plot armor for it. Like, I don't know why she's even there. Thorn. Thorn's interesting. He's also a maybe. For the same reason as Bert. Because I can't say canonically for sure if he dies or not if you don't recruit him. But, like, he can escape, as well as if you have Aubrey, he just doesn't show up. If he's in your army, I think he dies for sure. And I think Bert's the same way. Like, if they're in your army, they die for sure. But if you never recruit them, and you just kind of leave them alone, they might be okay. Randall, 100%. You fight Randall in Under Saga, so he dies afterwards, but he's alive for that part. Then we have Robert. Robert, he's alive. He gets killed in Andaron Saga, Chapter 8. I feel so bad for Robert. Like, he loses his whole family. Rebellion Saga, like, he loses everybody. And then he just wants, except for Isabel. He still has Isabel. And then he just wants to end it. Here she is, his wife. What's his wife's name? There's Olga, Henriette, and I forget. She's the dancing general, though. Eleonora? Eleonora, maybe? She's definitely dead. She's not 100% alive, my bad. She's dead. She gets nuked by Cathis, and we know that his whole family's dead. Henriette, my girl, she's definitely dead. I like Henriette. I wish she was alive. Like, there's so many cool characters that just get nuked, and you're like, oh man, I wish they were alive. Olga's also dead. Like, she's with Eleonora and Henriette, and you get them automatically, so there's no saving them. Tariq and Rachel are interesting cases because one of them is supposed to be with Baudimon, and one of them is supposed to join the battle. But technically, they could both be with Baudimon. And neither of them are mentioned to be, like, dead or alive. They both get killed if they go to Cathis. So I'm going to actually say that these two are probably alive. But I don't know which one is canonically. Both of them won't be dead. One of them has to be alive because only one of them would leave you. And it's a choice to leave you. so you don't even have to take it. So at least one of them, if not both, are alive. Kestra, she's dead. She dies, and Randall turns angry. For Kestra. Jack is probably alive. He's just a villager, and he's kind of a secret unit at the same time. So as long as you don't recruit Jack, he's fine. He's probably just in his village. These are both Windlance girls. I think both of these girls are alive for Andaron Saga, so they're 100% alive. They're in Andaron. You see them. Penny, 100% dead. Unfortunately, that's Rod's wife. So, yeah, she gets nuked, and she joins you automatically. So there's no. Maybe she's dead. Maybe she's not. She's definitely dead. Maria. She's definitely dead. She dies in chapter 8. At the end of chapter 8, and we know that for sure. We literally witnessed that. So there's no tricks or illusions about it. Valeria, she's also dead. This is Estelle's teacher. She either gets killed by you or you recruit her, and then she dies. Ash, she's alive because you see her in Andaron Saga, and you get to fight her in Andaron Saga. Now, I don't know if the Ash route is canon in Andaron Saga or if the Miriam route is canon, but she could technically still be alive there too. So, one of the most alive out of everybody. Cyrus, alive. He's in Andaron Saga. Samuel, same thing. Varg. We know Varg's in Andaron Saga. We just talked about him. Beatrice. She's also alive for Andaron Saga. Brandon. He's alive for Andaron Saga. Thurgrim. He's alive for Andaron Saga. Octavia. She's definitely alive too, because she's like a historian bookkeeper, and she doesn't get nuked by Cathis. So, she's probably alive. Now, these two, I think, are most certainly dead. One of them joins you, one of them you kill. And I don't think there's any way around that, unless you don't recruit either, and you don't kill either somehow. I don't know if these two could technically be alive. If you don't kill either of them, I will say he's certainly dead. Because I want to say 100% dead, but they could technically be alive if you don't kill them and you don't recruit them. Alright, and that's the dead list. This is everyone that I think is dead for sure in your playable cast. Who's alive, and then there's like a couple of people that aren't maybe dead. Like, I think these are all certainly dead too. They're all dead. But I'm just going to put that here in case there's some random reason why they're not. Like, for example, Nalani's route doesn't count or something. Or you don't recruit or hurt these guys. Or Helios didn't actually die from the explosion of fire. And I think that's it. I think that's the list. So once again, here is that Andaron Saga tier list. I know people are gonna be pretty mad about that last ranking, but that's why I did it. I don't think there's any changes I need to make necessarily. So we'll leave it at that. I'll probably, like I said, about a week play something else. So look forward to that. And I guess I will see you guys